Good morning, dear students. How are you? Yes, I am also fine, and I hope all of you are fine. Once again, welcome to the online classes. So, as we know, a few centuries ago, India was a very wealthy nation. Yes, and so that's why it is considered as a golden era for India. Yes, and by the 7th century, the wealth of the India it began to attract the conquerors of Central Asia. Yes, so that's why lots of people from Central Asia they came to India and they have established their trade centers in India. Yes, so Indian history it is very important, and in this session we are going to discuss about the colonization of India. Okay, fine. So let us discuss about the colonization of India. Yes, so you can see here Vasco da Gama is there. Yes, who is Vasco da Gama? Yes, so Vasco da Gama he was a Portuguese explorer who came to India in the year 1498 at Calicut. Yes, and after he invented new sea route to India, during that time it became a turning point in India's history. Yes, and he found a new sea route to the India. Yes, you can see here the Vasco da Gama who founded a new sea route to India, and then after they started a trade business to our India, and by searching new sea route they have established their trade center that is in Cochin, Kannur and Kozhikode. Yes, and then after the Dutch traders from Holland they also came to India for the trade purpose. Then after French they also came to India, and lastly the Britishers they also came to India for the purpose of trade. Yes, and after the British came the Dutch. They moved out to the East Indies. Yes, and the Europeans they exported some spices, silk, cotton, gold, and pearls to their own lands. Yes, and they had one common interest, that is to exploit India's immense natural and material wealth. Yes, so like this, they started their trade with India, and approximately some parts of the India they were established by trade centers in all of our India. Yes, like this they have established the English East India Company. Yes, in the year 1600. Yes, this is the East India Company. So it was established in the year 1600. Yes, and by taking the permission from Queen Elizabeth first, she got the that means she gave the permission to establish a trade centers in Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. Yes, and like this they also established some trade centers that is in Pondicherry, that is near Chennai, and Chandranagore, that is in West Bengal. So like this Queen Elizabeth she gave the permission to establish the trade centers in England, in India. Yes, and then after Sir Thomas Roe, who came to India in the year 1615, he also took the permission with the Mughal king. His name is Jahangir. Is by taking the permission by Jahangir, he also established a trade centers that is in Gujarat. Yes, Gujarat. Yes, and the Britishers' first trade center that was established in Surat, that is in Gujarat. So like this, gradually they built their forts in the port cities like Calcutta. Yes, you can see here they also built some important forts like St. William Fort, which is established in Calcutta, and Fort St. George, that is in Madras. So like this they occupy some important places. Yes, and like this they get the political supremacy in India. Yes, and next one is the Battle of Plassey. Yes, so Bengal it was a very thriving prominence when the British set up a trading centers there. Yes, and the Bengal's Sultan or Nawab was there. His name is Sirajuddaulah. Yes, he was not very happy with the Britishers. Yes, because some British officers, they are not taking his permission, so that's why he enraged and he decided to fight with the Britishers. Yes, and he challenged the Britishers, and in 1757, in the fierce Battle of Plassey, the Nawab was defeated and captured and later put to death. So like this, so Siraj-ud-Dawla, he fought with the Britishers. Yes, and like this, the British government, they started their rule in Bengal, that is West Bengal. Yes, like this, the East India Company continued growing stronger under the guidance of its governor generals. Next one is Battle of Buxar. After the end of Battle of Plassey in the 1757, next in the 1764, Mir Qasim, who was the Nawab of Bengal, at that time Nawab of Oudh and the Mughal king, his name is Shah Alam II, they got together and fought against the Britishers. Yes, and this is considered as a Battle of Buxar. But in this time also Britishers won. Yes, because Britishers, they are very powerful. Yes, and the Bengal Nawab, they don't have very powerful army, so that's why they have also defeated by Britishers. And the Britishers, they have implemented two types of systems. Yes, that is the subsidiary alliance. Yes, and the doctrine of lapse. Yes, what is subsidiary alliance? Yes, so the Indian rulers under the British protection were not allowed to maintain their own independent armies. That means our Indian rulers, they don't have to maintain their own independent army. Yes, and the Indian rulers, they had to keep the British troops, yes, in their states. Yes, in return, the British would protect them for attacks by rival states. That is considered as a subsidiary alliance. Next one is doctrine of lapse. Yes, so for example, if a ruler, he died without a natural heir, yes, that means he doesn't have any children, so that state would pass into the British hand. Yes, and that means some kings, they don't have children, so they have a right to adopted children. But Britishers came to India and they have passed a doctrine of lapse. Yes, by this act, the Indian kings, those who don't have their own children, they could not adopt their children, and the region which will be go under the Britishers, that we consider as the doctrine of lapse. Okay, and the next one is the beginning of revolt. Yes, so like this, Britishers, they started to exploit our Indians. Yes, and India was divided into small kingdoms which were often at a war with one another. Yes, and Britishers, they took advantages of this, and they started to playing their divide and rule policy, and slowly they colonized most of India. Yes, and the East India Company had fixed the price of many goods, so that's why our farmers and traders were forced to sell their goods at this price. Yes, and that is clearly unprofitable to them. So that's why farmers were forced to grow cotton for the factories in England. Yes, and farmers, traders, craftsmen, and other working class people were also forced to pay high taxes. So like this, everyone citizen were unhappy. Yes, and the soldiers, both the Muslims and Hindus, were unhappy because they were forced to do things which went against their religions. For example, some kartus was there which is used in the rifle, so it is covered by the skin of the animals, so which is against the Muslim and Hindu. So like these types of rituals were implemented, and by 1857, some peoples of India, for the first time, they gathered together and they started a revolt against this British government. Yes, and they united under the leadership of some important person. For example, you can see here Nana Sahib is there, Tatya Tope is there, Mangal Pandey, Kunwar Singh, and Bahadur Shah Jafar. So these are the important persons. They took a responsibility or the leadership in this revolt, and this revolt, it is considered as a mutiny of 1857. Yes, like this, Indian peoples, they called it as a first war of independence. Yes, so like this, even though the Indian lost this war, the British got a shocking fight. Yes, and they could not afford to lose India, and India was a jewel in the British crown. Yes, and the British government took over the settlement to the East India Company. Yes, Queen Victoria was declared as the Empress of India, and she would select a Governor General and Viceroy who would rule India on her behalf. So like this, Britishers got the supremacy on India. That means, though India lost in this battle, that is first war of independence, the British Queen Victoria, she declared that Empress of India. Yes, and she had a right to appoint a Governor General and Viceroys in India on behalf of her. Yes, so like this, the Britishers, they got the political supremacy in the India. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Yes, in the next session we will discuss the next point. Thank you.